Okay, hi, and welcome back to another In Conversation with. I'm Richard Lane, co-founder and CEO of Durham Lane. We're demand and lead generation specialists, demand generation, lead generation agency, based here in the UK. And I'm really pleased to be joined by one of our customers, a Canadian-based organisation but global, and that's AdvisorStream. And I'm here with the managing director, Karim. Karim, welcome.
Thank you very much. Very happy to be here. Nice to chat with you.
Great to have you. I'm going to apologise now that if we get any screen freeze, then that's just life at working from home and the dealing with technology as we all have been now for the last few weeks. So, Karim, look, really great to be able to get you and spend some time just having an informal chat with you. Just to get us started, do you want to just let us know a little bit about AdvisorStream and some of the work you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're, as you mentioned, a Canadian-based company out of Toronto. We work with clients just very recently, of course, as late as last year. And what we are is an automated content marketing platform / client communication platform. And really what makes us, pretty unique is the fact that we work directly with about 45 different publishers around the world, all pretty much big name brands like The Guardian, the BBC, The Independent, The Economist, Wall Street Journal, Barron's, and again about 40 different others. We license their content, we curate it, and then allow our clients, who are predominantly financial advisors, to share that content through all their digital channels. And again, what really makes us quite unique is the fact that we co-brand the advisor alongside the publisher, so that it's the advisor who's front and center and positioned as a thought leader when they're communicating with their clients.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. I know that talking with our team that are delivering work for you guys, then we're getting a great reaction to the AdvisorStream product and solution. So that's really
great. Absolutely.
So the purpose of these informal conversations, Karim, really are just whilst we're in this totally new era, then it's just an opportunity to share how it's going. Really, I've talked on the last couple about our shift from being 70 people under one roof to now being 70 people in this virtual non-roofed organization. I'm having to change my sales pitch of what I used to say about our USP. And that transition went pretty smoothly for us. In certainly from a technology point of view, we were cloud anyway, and we got up and running and have continued to create opportunity for our customers, which has been excellent. What sort of challenges has AdvisorStream gone through, and is there any stories you can share of what to do or maybe what not to do that people would be interested in hearing about?
Yeah, so similar to you, we're about 30 employees, all predominantly working under one roof, and we've always been set up to work from home, and a number of our staff have had sort of informal scheduled work from home days, but yeah, it's kind of overnight we decided, starting tomorrow we're all going to work from home, even before sort of the official lockdown orders were in place. Right. So it's been going well. We are all set up with laptops, of course, and have been really maintaining the same level of communication as much as possible, having our team staff meetings as scheduled every Thursday. But there's been obviously some adjustments. I will say personally, I have never been one to want to work from home all that often, and certainly have never done it. I've done it on occasion, but this is week 6 for me, and so it's I don't even want to use the word new normal because it feels like I'm giving it, but it's been an adjustment for me, and just in talking with some of my colleagues, and some of the challenges I would say is obviously when you work in an office environment, being able to walk over to your colleagues, have very quick impromptu meetings about 5 minutes worth or 10 minutes worth. Well, now that requires some coordination. Only a few of us have kids, myself included. So there hasn't been too many children distractions involved in the meetings, but those have been some of the challenges. I think obviously over time everything, these types of things tend to sort themselves out almost. But I think there's a mentality that you kind of have to get into it where you feel like, okay, I'm not going to beat myself up over, not being able to, have that quick conversation with somebody that I normally would be able to have. But we've all used the technology that we have installed and have always used very well. And I think similar to you guys, we're well positioned because we are a SaaS company to be able to work from home. So we're very fortunate in that sense. And in a lot of ways, it has been business as usual, quote unquote. I mean, we've just, we've kind of plowed forward with every initiative that we've been working on, and it's been going well.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I think I don't know about you, but I've always embraced technology, and I've used video thing forever. In fact, a lot of our conversations as we were, our businesses were getting to know each other, were all over Zoom, and you were in North America and we were in the UK, and so we've always done that. What I've found, and I don't know if you feel this, but when I've been on video calls all day, I'm exhausted, and my wife and myself were listening to something the other day about, it was a guy was talking about just digital frequency is much harder and more tiring to listen to than analog, and so it's certain. I think time goes faster. So I've had a 3-hour board meeting this morning, and it just went like that. I've got downstairs at the end of some days and just flaked out because you've been on. And I don't know if you concentrate more, you work harder. I don't know what it is, but it does feel more intense, I think.
I agree. I mean, I feel, and I'm guilty of not turning off the technology, that probably when I should. But I agree that, sometimes it feels like it is a more intense day. In a lot of ways, though, sometimes I feel like maybe I'm not being maybe this is just my own perception, but I'm not being as efficient as I could be working from home relative, compared to working in an office. But yeah, I do feel like because you are on your computer a lot more, just for everything, every meeting, or, sometimes it's just even a phone call, but you're still using technology. It's a little more draining. It is definitely more draining, and it is an adjustment. I mean, I know a handful of people who their careers have been working from home. So for them, they're like, what are you complaining about?
What are you complaining about? This is just normal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They don't have to. I've never thought I'd miss a commute so much in my life, but I kind of do. So
yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean. So I think there's been an interest. It'd be good to understand Karim from business point of view as well. I think one thing I've certainly seen is the first couple of weeks there was, a lot of disruption, distraction, getting used to doing something totally different. And it was a huge compelling event which took place across the world in terms of COVID-19. You then have, we're coming to the end of week 5 from a Durham Lane point of view in terms of lockdown, but, some companies have been probably 6 weeks, but it's almost like, and I know you didn't want to use the word new normal, but there's sort of, they'd say, don't they, humans take 21 days to create a habit. So, we're all getting pretty used to this approach, but I sort of feel that I feel like people are starting to think, well, yes, we've got to keep growing. We've got to get back on track. The number stays the number. We need to find new ways of doing it. So, from us from what we do as a business, that's hopefully a good thing. But I'm also sort of sensing a little bit of fear at the moment as well in terms of what is going to happen next. So is that happening? Do you see that as well?
A little bit. I mean, we've seen, so we kind of have seen a couple of things. One of the things we've seen is some advisors and some firms accelerating their plans to actually use the platform, for example. We've had a few firms that we've been working with locally that we were in pilot with that have accelerated their rollout because they want to have their advisors, communicate really during this time, because we put out a press release actually just a few days ago that based on our research and our own network, we saw almost a 50% increase in client engagement. So basically, advisors 50% more than what we saw the previous month. So we are seeing an increased demand for content. We are seeing some firms accelerate their plans. We've seen some advisors who were sitting on the fence, just pull the trigger and say, okay, yes, we're gonna subscribe. I want to start using the platform to communicate. That being said, there are definitely some firms that have kind of pulled back a little and said, we're just, again, with the uncertainty, we're not going to make any big budget decisions right now. There's a lot we're still trying to figure out, even just getting, depending on the size of the firm, just getting their staff coordinated to work from home. I mean, even just something as basic, I guess, as VPN access into their network. I mean, just getting the mass of employees to be able to do that. So they're focused on other areas. And so we've seen a few firms say, okay, you know what, we're going to pull this back for another couple of months. And because of the uncertainty, because of that new normal, quote unquote. So we've seen a bit of a mix, but by and large, we have really, maintained our growth. And in that, we're seeing, because there's such a strong demand for communication, when, people are looking to their advisors for just some level of comfort and support.
Yeah.
We are seeing that demand still there by and large. So it's been good. I mean, we're very fortunate in that sense, in that we're set up the way we are. So it has been positive.
Well, and I think with all these things, there are companies that will win out of this situation, and it sounds like you guys are one of them, which is great. And there are others that it's more challenging for, isn't it? So. Have you got a view on? I know we're in different countries, but have you got what's the exit plan looking like? Because and this isn't a I'm not making a political statement here, but I don't think we've got one.
No. Well, I don't think we have one either.
Okay. Well, okay.
I mean, we've heard a range of exit plans, depending on a level of government, but certainly, waiting for a vaccine is been one exit plan. I don't know how realistic that is, but also, sort of looking at, where we are on the curve, so to speak, and what the health officials would want to see in terms of numbers is kind of, the beginning of an exit plan. So there's been various things, I think, and I'm not a politician, and I'm certainly, don't want to make a political statement or anything, but I think there's a hesitancy to articulate an exit plan, because then I think at this stage populations will hold the government, to some level of, not responsibility, but to say like, okay, well then why is it changing or something, and I think that there's a hesitancy to actually articulate one at this point.
Yeah, I think that's correct. So, my mantra in the first few weeks of this internally to our group of Durham Laners was, day by day, week by week, and I think, I think maybe we can almost go to month by month, but not quite yet. So it's challenging. So but business goes on, and like I said, I think we've one thing we've found, which has been really interesting, is that activity has gone up, connecting to potential customers has gone up, opportunity creation has not diminished. So actually from that respect, people recognize they need to continue business. So I think I always think as well, at least it's not the middle of winter. Could be a lot worse in terms of but and joking aside, I think the mental health and well-being of all of our staff and everyone is a key consideration that as business leaders we've got to be very mindful of, and have got to make sure that people are doing well. And one thing we've massively increased is the touch points every day with our teams, and that seems to be working. I think a lot of things that we've done will continue through even once we get back into the office.
I agree, and I think how employers see employees when, for example, they need a day off, when they're sick. If, again, mental health, I think, will be a conversation that's going to bubble to the surface a lot more as time goes on, even beyond the lockdowns. And I think it will become important for employers to have honest conversations with employees, allow them space in some ways to, I say deal with mental health issues, but certainly have that time to take care of themselves, right? And we're very fortunate. We have a really good culture in our company where that's never been an issue. but I just think across the board, there's going to be a lot more of, there's going to be some change in some company cultures probably where that maybe wasn't as accepted, right? Calling in sick, sometimes you hear stories where people were afraid to call in sick. And I think that's going to change.
Yeah, well, and I think it's, from us, from a scaling point of view, it's sort of lifted the lid literally on bricks and mortar. So, actually we could have more flexibility. We can probably employ people in different parts of the country, different countries even, and manage in the Durham Lane way. So, that's become a, I think that will be a real key benefit for us going forward. So. Just a final thing, we're just about out of time, so I've got one more question for you, Karim, before I let you go. But any particular tech that you're using? That I call myself a non-techie techie, so I dabble with technology. I'm not very good at it, and then it costs me lots of money to get it fixed. But I'm always interested in new tools and to understand what organisations are using that are proving particularly effective. So anything spring to mind that you guys are doing at AdvisorStream?
So nothing, I mean, excuse me, nothing, excuse me, and nothing too different than a lot of companies. I mean, we actually, funny enough, switched over to Zoom, the day before we, all were told, all, worked from home. We used to use GoToMeeting, which, was working well. We switched over to Zoom. So we've been using that as far as just our sort of standard video conferencing solution. We do use Slack just as our own, internal, quick communication. It's mostly internal. We do have some external partner channels that we use, that we've included in our Slack application. Nothing tremendously different than a lot of companies, to be honest. I mean, our sales team sometimes uses standard sort of webinar conferencing tools like GoToWebinar and Join Me and things like that. But by and large, we've switched over to Zoom. I know that minus all the sort of attention that Zoom has gotten in the media, the negative attention, we haven't had any problems, fingers crossed. So no one's hacked our meetings, but yeah, no, we've been finding that it's been pretty reliable, and it's been something that's been easy to manage just for setting up meetings. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, so business as usual in lots of
pretty
ways.
Much. Yeah, pretty
okay,
much.
Perfect. Well, look, Karim, really great to speak to you. Thanks for spending some time with me. If everyone's watching, thank you for watching. We have had a few. I think we've had a few glitch moments, Karim. So that's we've not had the there will be no broadband myth that came around early at the end of March, saying that on the 7th of April every broadband supplier in the UK will collapse because of overuse. But that's not happened, so I'm glad to say. So yeah, really appreciate it. If people would like to find out a bit more about AdvisorStream, where should they go?
So they can visit our website at www.advisorstream.com. And there's some information on the website that can allow them to get in touch with us and get more information about the platform.
Perfect. Okay. Well, look, thanks for listening, and thanks, Karim, for the conversation, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.